go, 2-Minute Tuesday! Welcome back to another 2-Minute Tuesday, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to include a specific rhythm idea into your lead playing, specifically your improvisation. If you perhaps run out of licks and you just want a little bit of a breather to think about what's going to come next, then you can certainly fill out your improvisation with this kind of playing, as well as using it in songwriting, or perhaps you're in a band scenario where you want to play something quite groovy and lead, but you don't want to dominate the mix and be that really annoyingly loud guitar player. It's actually quite a simple idea that you can apply with just a very small select few notes. So let's check this out. I'm gonna put 2 minutes on the clock. Boom! Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna be playing in the key of B minor. We're gonna choose the B minor pentatonic scale to begin with here. And we're going to start off by choosing the root note on the D string, which is the 9th fret. Now with this hand here, we're just going to relax the hand a moment. So I'm not pressing the note, I'm just relaxing on the strings, which will give you this ghost note sound. And you're just going to alternate pick with this hand, constantly down and up. So the first thing that we're going to try to get used to this technique is squeeze the first of every 4th note. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it's not a race, we're not trying to go super fast here, I'm just sort of getting you used to squeezing and not squeezing, and you want a nice continuous mute sound there. You don't want any sort of harmonics or open strings, anything like that. You want nice and consistent sounds here. Now that's the easy part, but now we need to throw in an actual practical rhythm idea, because if you use that idea, it's going to sound pretty boring. So the best way to do this is really not to overthink it too much. You don't really want to be thinking in terms of numbers and things. You ideally just want to feel the rhythm. But a good exercise that you can try is just to clap your hands in quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, just keep a continuous kind of thing going on. And then accent some notes. So we had sort of a... So that's one idea that we could use right there. And as you develop your speed with this, it sounds even cooler. So that was the easy part that just gets you used to the actual technique that we're going to be doing. But the next challenge is for you to create your own rhythms. So in order to do that, I give you a template to work with, but all you really need to do is keep this hand going like that, and then you're just going to experiment with squeezing on different times and different notes. So for example, let me see if I can create something on the spot here, or a few different ideas. So our first one was something like that. You could try, let's try another one. So those were a few ideas that you can try and expand on yourself, but most importantly, I want you to kind of feel it and work out your own rhythms. And what's going to inspire you to do that is perhaps taking a loop or a backing track and choosing just 2 notes from the pentatonic scale. Or perhaps let's start, I'm going to create a loop right now, which highlight the chords B minor, A, and E. And I'm going to highlight the root notes of each chord as I pass through the progression. So let's see how that goes. As I said, all I was doing in that example was highlighting the root note of each chord, which was B, A, and E, which are all within the B minor pentatonic scale here. So you don't really even need to think that strategically about it. I'm just choosing 3 notes that sound good. You could also try expanding on this by choosing other notes from the pentatonic scale. Some are going to sound better than others, and that's for you to choose from. But for now, we're just playing 1 note over each chord. Once you're comfortable with that, we can throw in 2 notes. So we're starting small here. We don't want to overcomplicate this at all. So let's now try and add in a 2nd note, so 2 notes per chord. that's a great start for you to experiment with there. I started off once again by targeting the root notes, and then the second time round I used some different notes within the pentatonic scale. But most importantly, I kept it super simple and targeted just 2 notes per chord. We don't want to overcomplicate this. Now the next thing that you can try is to throw in some techniques. So in the previous example, I hammered on, I went sort of, and notice that this hand takes a break from one upstroke as I hammer on. So it's kind of like an invisible up, down, up. See, I don't actually do an upstroke there. And then I continue on with a down. Okay, and you could throw in some slides and experiment with this. You don't need to be continuous with this hand. You can skip some strokes if you want. Just go with whatever's comfortable. Now, one important thing that I should note is that come the end of the 4 bars, I throw in some improvised sort of pentatonic run before repeating the ghost note sequence. And this just chops it up a bit from sounding too repetitive and too boring. You definitely want to throw in something at the end before the repeat. As you can imagine, that sounds so much more entertaining than playing the same thing without any of the ghost notes, and it also encourages you to play more rhythmically because you're not really focusing on this hand too much because you're just keeping a continual sort of pattern going on there. It's more on the left hand for you to decide which notes to choose and when to squeeze in a strategic way that's going to make your playing sound more engaging and rhythmic. So that's just about enough from me today. I'm going to play this video out now by improvising over that loop that I've been using throughout this video and hope that it'll inspire you on ways to use this technique in your own playing.